All right, let's hope this one is a go. All right. All right. It is really easy to get in shape, and I'm explaining to you. And there's three things you need to understand for you to get in shape in 2025. One, you need a good diet plan. Two, you need a good workout plan. And three, you need to be consistent. Those three things, it's easy for you to be in tip top shape for this year, for this summer. So, number one, your diet plan. You got to understand that dieting is very important between protein intake, calorie deficit, calorie surplus, and how much and basically your intake between water and creatine or protein or any other accessories that you like to take. So first thing first, learn what you want to do. If you want to learn how to get bigger, learn how to get a calorie surplus. If you want to get thinner, lean out, get it to a calorie deficit. It's very easy. All you got to do is go to Google, type in calorie deficit or calorie surplus calculator. You plug in the information, and from there, it'll be able to track all the all the calories you need to intake for the day. All right, it's very simple. It takes probably like 5 minutes for you to do. You just plug in your own height, weight, your goals, and then basically your goals, but like what weight you want to become, and then basically it would give you how many calories you have to eat, um, basically for that day, and how many calories you cannot eat for that day or for the week. So with that, it's very simple. You don't have to overthink that. It's super easy. And then from there, you can look up meals. There's meals everywhere between TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Google, even ChatGPT. Just look up any basic meals. You may be able to give you a meal that gives you a high protein intake and whatever calorie surplus or deficient you want to get, right? Sorry, deficient, deficit. So it's very simple, right? And you just have to stick with that plan for, I don't know, depending on what your goal is, right? It could take you 3 months, 6 months, a year, depends where you want to be. So, yeah, that's the first step, right? Getting a good diet plan. Second step, your workout routine. Now, I feel like everybody tries their hardest to understand what workouts they have to do, and they'll do a lot of other certain workouts that are kind of unnecessary for you to do to build a certain muscle or a muscle group or whatever. And in all reality, there's three things you gotta understand when it comes. Yeah, three things: compound workouts, isolated workouts, cardio. And you could probably throw abs in there, but I mean, if you cut weight, you will get your abs, right? And but I'll explain that in a sec. So compound workouts. Compound workouts, for me to understand what a compound workout is, it's a special workout that you do for you to build multiple muscle groups, right? Or they work out more than one muscle group. All right. So to give you an idea, if you do a deadlift, right? A deadlift works out so many parts of your body. They say it's a really good workout. I usually don't do it, but this is just an example. So deadlifts works out your forearms, your lower back, your quads, your glutes, your traps, and you can say your core too, right? But it uses multiple muscle groups for you to burn more energy, to burn more calories, right? So if you want to in a calorie deficit, right, and you want to burn calories, do a lot of compound workouts. Compound workouts will make you grow. It is the most simplistic one that people need to understand. Compound, you guys need to prioritize compound workouts. And when it comes to that, right, depending on your workout plan, right, if you're doing push pull legs, simple, right? Your push, basically your chest aim, you do a lot of free weight, bench press, dumbbells, barbells, right? A lot of that stuff, right? You got to do all that for you to grow your chest, your shoulders, and your triceps, right? So back or pull day, you got to do you do deadlifts, barbell rows, pull downs, pull ups, right? All those will work on multiple muscle groups, and they will make you grow like exponentially amount, right? It will make you grow quicker. So next thing is um, legs. Dude, legs is all about compound, and then even the isolated workouts, even better. But compound workouts, squats, RDLs, lunges, hack squat. Basically, those are the majority like leg workouts, right? Front squats. The variants of the workouts I just explained, there's different variants of them. They still, and there's some that are better than others. You guys will figure that out on your journey, right? But those are the main things that if you want to grow the most, you need to understand compound workouts, right? Isolated workouts, right? Um, it's in the name, isolate. It isolates a certain muscle group, right? So, for example, curls, right? If you curl, right, it would isolate one muscle group. It doesn't really work out any other muscle group, right? Because if you do curls, it's not going to work out your back, right? But if you do pull-ups, right? If you do pull-ups, it's just a pull-ups a compound workout. You're working out both your back and your biceps. So understand that. Um, so with isolated workouts, right? They're just isolated for a single body part, right? And that's basically all you gotta understand, right? If you want your arms to grow, you can focus a little bit more time on your arms after a compound workout. And then from there, right, your arms are gonna grow exponentially, right? Depending on how many times a week and how long you've been doing it, right? Your arms will grow, right? Certain workouts will make it better, right? It just depends on your body and your body type, right? What it is at the end is you're gonna experiment what workouts work for you because not every workout's gonna work for everybody, and everybody's body type is different. I'm not a genius when it comes to that, but you guys will figure that out. Like a certain workout for one person is not going to be the same as for another. So you figure out what works for you when it comes to stuff like that. If you want to grow your arms, you got to learn different workouts for your arms for you to grow a certain way, and that's not difficult, right? Do the most basic stuff and then add on from there. Super easy, super simplistic. Just take the time and just do it. All right, it's not going to happen all in one night. Okay, so idea of isolation, one muscle group basically. Okay, cardio. All right. During cardio, you don't have to run 10 miles every day to cut the weight, look skinnier. No. Cardio can be 10 minutes of anything swimming, running, stairmaster, elliptical, bicycling, right? And there's different forms of cardio. For example, me, I actually don't hit cardio at the gym. I do cardio at home. No, I'm just kidding. um, No, I do jujitsu, and that's to me, it's another form of cardio for me. It is a unique way, but it gets my cardio working 100%. But I use that as my form of cardio. But all you really need is 10 minutes of I would say light to medium, like hard, like it doesn't have to be like a hard. It doesn't have to be like a super hard um, like cardio workout. You just need like a slightly medium-ish like type of pressure for you to like work out, right? So if you're doing stairmaster is already hard as hell. 10 minutes of that, good luck. You got that. You're hitting your cardio. 10 minutes. You do a brisk walk, right? Walk at a good pace, right? And an up slant on a treadmill, perfect, right? You could run for 10 minutes. Okay, that's good too. Bicycle, but like kind of push yourself, make it a little bit more difficult, make your legs burn a little bit. So that's basically all you really need for cardio. You don't have to hit cardio like crazy. You don't have to hit it crazy, right? But anyway, that's the third part. And then abs. Abs, I mean, when you cut weight, you're in a calorie deficit, you're already gonna see your abs, right? But abs is just like any other muscle, right? If you want them bigger, and by bigger, I mean you could be stick out a little bit more, right? You can work abs, right? But make sure you add the weight. All right, I think everybody kind of doesn't understand that, right? You can tone your abs, like you can make it right, like look defined, but if you want them to grow, add the weight, right? And you're like, well, how do you add weight? Okay, um, you can. So people do abs on the floor, right? Like they do simple sit-ups, V's, toe touches. Those will definitely get your abs going, right? But I would say, um, a lot of the compound workouts I'm saying, like if you do dead man hang, right, and you do leg raises with weight for your abs, yeah, your abs are gonna grow. But it's all a growing process, right? Like if you can't dead man hang, all right, well learn to do a pull up, then start practicing dead man hangs for a minute, and then if you can do it for a minute, then start doing like ab workouts with it, because then that's how you're gonna start building up, right? And then from there you can add the weight after you get better, right? And then from there that's how you grow your abs even better and you get stronger. Um, but but yeah, with abs, if you want to grow them bigger, do it with weight. But if you don't have any, you want to work to get them, calorie deficit, and then work your ab workouts so you can get stronger with your abs, and then you can add the weight. All right, everything has an order to it, right? Take the first steps. You got to crawl, walk, and then you can run. All right, you can't sit there and start running, right? You're gonna start feeling bad for yourself. You're like, I can't do it. It's like, no, you can. You just give yourself the time, right? Okay, so now all four that I just explained, compound, isolated, cardio, and abs. I would recommend doing it. Well, actually, switch cardio and abs. Right, I always do cardio last, and the reason why, man, to be honest, scientific reason, I don't know specific. Sam Selig will probably know, but I believe how your body would uh, processes the workouts. So, but I that's just always been the way that I've been taught, and it's the best way for anybody to do it, for anybody to gain any muscle or lose any um, and lean out. So, okay, now consistency. That is the hardest part, hardest thing for everybody. Being consistent. I hate to break it to everybody, but being consistent is hard thing to do at first, but it gets easier over time. You got to be consistent. You got to get up early, or you got to go straight after work, straight to the gym. Doesn't matter, right? And no one's perfect. It's okay if you miss a day, but get back right. Get to it to the next day, right? And give yourself a month or two for you to get the feel for the consistency, so you can build that habit, right? To build a habit, you got to have to do it for a month, and it's not an easy habit to do for a lot of people, but you have to do it for you to get the results that you want. Just do it. It's just plain and simple, right? There's no easy way around it, and I think that's just the only way that people need to understand that it's not a simple like get there quick scheme. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way. It never has, and it never will. You have to do it and put in the effort and continue the grind, right? If not, you're never gonna grow. You just never will. And I promise you that it will be the same thing. You just complain and complain and complain that you never grow, you never do this, you never do that, and it's most certainty that's not true. You will grow a lot, right? And whenever you get it, it's like a compounding effect, right? You start to understand, you start to be like, wow, this is amazing that I'm able to do all this. Exactly. It really is that easy. It is super easy to do it. Just some people don't have the time, not the time, they don't have the patience to do it, right? And that's what you really need, the patience and consistency for you to understand that it's easy to do. You just got to do it, right? And once you're there, trust me, it's nice. It like trust me. My thumbnail, it shows how I look like, right? And don't get me wrong, I don't look like that every day. And I'm not saying that's what I don't look like. I still have the same build and muscles, but I had good lighting, a good angle, and it was a great photo taken of me, right? From my friend. So, um, but you know, nothing hits more than getting your first steroid acquisition. You know what I mean? Like, damn, acquisition. How do you say that? Acquisition? I don't even know how to say that. But anyway, when someone accuses you of using steroids, there's nothing better than that, right? Because I've been natural my whole life. I've been grinding it out since I was a kid, right? But um, people just look at me and they're like, "Hey, bro, what do you use?" Nothing. Just just grind that bitch out. You know what I mean? I was hitting the gym all the time, bro. When I'm tired, hit the gym. I'm upset, hit the gym, right? Grind that bitch out. I promise you, at the end of the day, it will work out if you keep it up, right? And trust me, everybody has their own journey, right? I had a cousin. He's bigger than me. He was like 250, right? Well, I met him when he was 210, but he first started at 250, right? He learned that being on a diet will make him lose weight, but then he plateaued. He wondered why he couldn't lose any more weight than from what he started. Well, I told him that he was just burning the amount of calories that he was eating. He plateaued. Basically, he was eating the same amount at the same time he was burning, and he wasn't moving. I mean, well, that's a lie. He was playing basketball, but he wasn't eating the right amount of food. He wasn't eating protein. He wasn't, lifting weights or doing anything for him to change, right? And then I took him to the gym. I explained to him what type of food he had to eat, right? and he just started to figure it out. And now, right, he's bigger, right? He's 225, but he's lean, right? He's a good big 225, right? He has a lot of muscle. He's very strong, right? And it worked out for him, right? And I had another friend, right, or I call him my little brother, right? Long story short, um, but he had the opposite, right? He was 130 when I met him, and now he's a good 160. He put 30 pounds on him after like a year or two working out with him, right? And he had to suffer, like he had to be in a calorie surplus, which was super nice, and it's still nice for him, right? Like I'm kind of jealous that that's like, you know what I mean? Like I think that's physically harder to do is to gain weight. Like mentally, it's harder to be like to lose weight, but physically, it's so much harder to gain weight. And I realized that with him because I seen him almost throw up from eating because he just couldn't eat, and he wasn't the type of person that loved food. He just kind of eat because he just had to. You know what I mean? He wasn't like a he had to eat this he had to eat to survive. You know what I mean? And that's how he always was. So, but then he figured it out. He got the grind in, and now he's like, yeah, yeah, like he loves it, right? And so everybody has their own battles. Everyone has their own journey. Take it as it is and keep track of it, right? That's another important thing. Track it, right? Don't eye it out. Don't track your weight. Check yourself every 2 weeks. See where you're at, or every week if you want to speed up the process, right? The more you check, the easier it be. But don't stress yourself out, right? Don't do it every day. If you do it every day, you're not gonna see the results that you want. You're gonna stress yourself out. You're gonna either starve yourself or not do anything, or go to the gym more times than you have to. No, at the end of the day, don't stress yourself out. Just keep progress of it. If you didn't do good 1 week, change a little bit. See how that week goes for you. Nothing, change it again until something works, and then you got it all through. So yeah, that's basically all you really need just to get shredded and get into shape that you want to be for the summer. So those are the three things, well, four things that you need to do for you to get big. So if you watch and you thought this was helpful, thank you for watching. And then if you like it, please like, subscribe. And if you want any more tips or more detailed information or more detailed workouts of what I do, I'll be happy to do it. Right, I can post videos of what I do, what I work out, and my routine. So if you like it, if you want more of that, please let me know. Thank you again for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. All right, peace out.